To Jazz88 Radio Deluxe. Once again, signing off. John Pizzarelli about to go on tour and will be appearing in the Twin Cities, as he mentioned at the tail end of the show. John Pizzarelli Trio are performing at the Dakota in Minneapolis Tuesday, August 26th. 2 performances, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. There you have it. See him live in the flesh. Working the fretboard. It's Jazz88. We are gearing up for the Jazz Impulse with yours truly, Danny Sigelman, taking you on a 3-hour tour and the soundtrack to your Saturday night. I have a very special guest joining us around 8 o'clock. My friend Philip Harder will be joining me. Philip is a filmmaker, a legendary music video creator, and a film connoisseur. He's going to be part of the event Sounds for Silent Thursday night at the Walker Art Center, Hillside. And he'll be coming in talking more about that. He's curating and also showing the films along with a live band orchestra. So we'll be playing some of those artists, talking about what to expect for the free event that's happening Thursday at the Walker. Again, that's at 8 o'clock tonight. Philip Harder will be joining me here on the Jazz Impulse. Going to let you know about some road closures. In Minneapolis, Riverside Avenue Bridge over 94 is closed for maintenance. And in Burnsville, the Cliff Road Bridge over 35W is closed for reconstruction. That project's happening through October. I know that tonight there's a big game happening. Downtown Minneapolis, the Twins are taking on... Yes, they're taking on the Royals. A lot of notes here on this weekend's traffic report. A lot happening. The Twins take on the Royals tonight. Expect a lot of traffic in downtown Minneapolis as that game lets out, probably around 9 or 10. And do stay tuned for the Jazz Impulse here on Jazz 88.
Hey, it's Peter Solomon. Join me for Monday's morning show on Jazz 88. I'll celebrate the birthday of Jess Stacy with some of his music he recorded with Benny Goodman and as a solo piano artist. The morning show, weekdays from 6 to 10 on listener-driven Jazz 88.
You are listening to 88.5 KBEM FM Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Jazz88.FM, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools.
1, 2, yeah.
Can't be mistaken. Style ain't for no fake. If you're out there playing, you really need to be celebrating. This is the way we get down to say it.
Don't ladies.
Don't break it. I just shake it. I just shake it. And that's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I like.
She does is try to make ends meet. Living day to day economy. Holding strong to all her dignity. Lady luck always takes a backseat. She said Saturday night, one night can make it better. Saturday night, we can all be free, yeah. Picking up the pieces, ready to start a new day, yeah.
Yeah, baby, that's what I like. Yeah, baby, that's what I like. Just do that dance. Yeah, darling, that's what I like. Word of mother, that's what I like. Just sway thing. Yeah, baby, that's what I like. Yeah, baby, that's what I like. Just do that dance. Yeah, baby, that's what I like. Yeah, baby, that's what I like.
2 kids in the back room, where they all sleep in the same bed. Daddy up and left them, while mama baked him bread. Saturday night, one night can make it better.
sit still. I'm on the horn, yo fam, what the deal? You say the heavy's throwing down in the fair. Say the word where that son, I'm there. I got to get on prepared. Check the closet for the kicks and the wears. Put some oil through my nappy ass hair. Give me a shout when you get downstairs. Beat, beat, move back the seats in your Jeep. New York, no Brooklyn, don't sleep. Hit the strip, put the whip on creep. Roll down, got the bass on deep. I ain't tricking, but I got all the treats. JD Beats keep the streets on heat. Honey love, peep it out like a camera. Double parked on the Ave and she asking ya, swing down and let me ride. But not every pretty face is allowed to side. The night buzzing and it's dozens of dimes. But some of y'all ain't worth the stress and time. I'm on love, singing sad songs. I'm far side, pass on, mash on. The next stop is the spot, heads block. Got the key to the city and you can't pick my lock. The DJ make them say don't stop. And New York is red hot. Honey grab my hand and want the fox shot. Later on body rock, for now I'ma watch like, yeah baby that's what I like. Yeah baby that's what I like. Just do that dance. Yeah darling that's what I like. Word the bubble that's what I like. Just sweat thing. Yeah baby that's what I like. Yeah baby that's what I like. Just do that dance. Yeah darling that's what I like. Just do the dance. That's what you do. Just shake it. Don't break it. Go ladies. Don't break it. Just shake it. Don't break it. Go ladies. I can't face it. Just shake it. Don't break it. Go ladies. I'm good on a Saturday. Just shake it. Don't break it. Go ladies. I'm good on a Saturday. Look good on a Saturday. Feel good on a Saturday. Look good on a Saturday. Look good.
It's Jazz88, the Jazz Impulse, the soundtrack to your Saturday. Just getting rolling here on a Saturday night with the brand new Heavies. They sampled Marvin Gaye almost a full decade before Robin Thicke would get in trouble for doing so. They were joined by Mos Def for Saturday night here on Jazz88. I've been busting into my brand new Heavies collection lately. I feel like they are a gem worth polishing for a newer audience here on the Jazz Impulse. Happy to kick off the show with some of that music for you. Danny Sigelman, looking at Saturday night and what's happening around Twin Cities, there is a very fun event happening at Palmer's Bar tonight. Martin Dosh is a percussionist and composer in town and into a lot of different kind of sounds, both of electronic variety, but also being a drummer, very percussive organically. And he's assembled quite a group of people tonight at Palmer's Bar, and it's kicking off. Doors just open. Looks like they're going to be out on the patio until 10, and then the party rages inside. We're talking Martin Dosh and friends with Little Lizard. L.A. Buckner is going to be performing tonight as part of that, and also the Larry Schaefer Memorial Orchestra. I thought I'd play a few of the artists performing at Palmer's tonight to kick off the show. But I'm also very excited to welcome in the 8 o'clock hour tonight, film director, video director, Philip Harder has an event that's happening Thursday at the Walker Arts Center. So much happening in the Twin Cities, and we'll be talking to him next hour and playing some of the artists that are performing for that live orchestra. He's going to tell us more about it, but it's an audio visual. It's a real tradition, actually, in Minneapolis, the Sound of Silence event at Walker. And since Philip is curating this week, we thought we'd bring him in here tonight on the Jazz Impulse. Okay, back to Palmer's. Martin Dosh. We're going to hear a tune called Summertime Time from Martin Dosh. We're also going to hear something from L.A. Buckner, who's also performing tonight at Palmer's, as I mentioned. And we'll hear something from drummer Abinat Berhanu, who's performing tonight at Berlin. So all the drummers taking over the Twin Cities for Saturday night tonight. I'm here for it. This is Dosh. It's on the Jazz Impulse.
the Jazz Impulse
We aren't satisfied until you are.
on Jazz 88.
It's the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88. Music from Ngacha. They are out of the Twin Cities, recently formed, and I believe they just had their first performance last month at Ice House. That's a group featuring Johannes Tona, Kibram Birhane, and Abinet Barhanu. The all-Ethiopian group bring together these three composers of Ethiopian and American influence with a new sound in Ethio jazz. Out of the Twin Cities, no less. Incredible stuff. And Abinet Barhanu, we've been big fans of his work for a long time. He's the drummer that's a part of Ngacha. He's performing with his own group tonight at Berlin. So it all comes together here for you on the Jazz Impulse. Looks like doors are just about to open for Abinet's group tonight, and he's performing with Ryan Freitas and Dan Carpel. Oh, he's got Joe Strachan on piano tonight down there at Berlin. So a couple things to do tonight in the Twin Cities for your Saturday night. L.A. Buckner in there. Before that, we went back to last year's Northside release. The piece was called Out, and he will be playing Out on the Palmer's patio tonight, along with Martin Dosh, who started off that set. Martin Dosh's 24/7 car service presents the second annual Throwdown at Palmer's tonight. Doors just opened for that. There's music outside on the patio, and it'll be rolling inside later. So an all-night affair featuring these fantastic drummers, composers, improvisers, electronic musicians of various sorts happening at Palmer's tonight. I'm having a little bit of FOMO about it, actually, but I might have to stop by and see what's happening after the show tonight here on Jazz 88. Danny Sigelman, your host here on the Jazz Impulse. I'm having a great time so far, and as I mentioned earlier, we will be joined in the 8 o'clock hour by my friend Philip Harder, who is a film and video director, and he's curated a film, part of a series that happens every year at the Walker Arts Center in the summertime, the Sound for Silence. And he will be talking about that and talking about some of the musicians that are part of the orchestra that are performing music there Thursday at the Walker. So much going on, man. Another of my favorite drummers is performing tonight at the Dakota. We're going to hear something from her right after this.
You want to feel important? You want to be part of something bigger? Something that matters and that you can help change things? You want to feel like you belong? We felt that way too. I'm Sergeant First Class Chris Urick from Glencoe, Minnesota, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Minnesota Army National Guard soldiers. We are people just like you, and together we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit nationalguard.com/MN to find out more. Sponsored by Minnesota Army National Guard, aired by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Pat Nelson. I was asked to share my reasons for donating my car to Jazz 88. Semester to semester, year by year, I can tell how the students are learning jazz while gaining confidence in their broadcasting skills. I also love the eclectic jazz and, of course, Bluegrass Saturday morning.
Turn your unneeded vehicle into the programs you love. Towing and pickup are free and you get a tax deduction. Get started by visiting jazz88.fm.
The Jazz Impulse brings you the here and now with Danny Sigelman, Saturday night, 7 to 10 p.m. on Jazz 88.
gonna be. We got the groovy potential. Can't you hear the sound? You better get up, get up, get up, so we can get down. We got the groovy potential. Come on, baby, let's get down. It's no time for sleeping, 'cause the night is so young. It's time for you and me to have a little fun. It's you and me, we got the groovy potential. Can't you hear the sound? It's time to get up, get up, get up, so we can get down. Got the groovy potential. Groovy potential. I like it when you dance for me. Got the groovy potential. I didn't want to, but I'm gonna talk about it. Your body's a movie, I know by heart, and it's hard to stop, girl, once the movie starts. We got the groovy potential. I learned my lines, and I'm ready to play the part. Oh, come on. We got the groovy potential. I was trying so hard not to, but I got the groovy potential. I can take another long road tonight. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Treat me right, treat me right. Got the groovy potential. Oh, oh Lord. Got the groovy potential. We got the groovy potential. Groovy potential. You wanna get down?
Good vibes only, every Saturday night on Jazz 88.
Well, if that hasn't turned your living room into a dance floor, I don't know what will. Well, maybe you're not home. But Eddie Palmieri was another incredible musician that we lost just this week, this past Wednesday. Eddie Palmieri, the pianist, passed on at age 88, born in New York City, of Puerto Rican descent, and revolutionized the world of Latin jazz, particularly in 1965 with his Mozambique record. We heard Que Suene la Orquesta, and I thought we should give props to the percussionists in that one. Man, they were going at it. Manny Okenda on timbales and congas, Tommy Lopez on the congas there as well. Eddie Palmieri, gone but not forgotten here on the Jazz Impulse tonight, as is Prince. Before that, 2012 was the year of his final release, Hit and Run Volume 2, The Groovy Potential, the name of that song from Prince. And without Prince, it would have taken a while for Sheila to make waves in the 80s like she did under Prince's guise. But she is still carrying the torch for the Minneapolis sound, Prince's music, and of course her illustrious career that's combined Latin jazz with pop music. And we went back to 1984 and the Glamorous Life record. There's so many great tunes on it. So we just kind of started with the first track, a song she co-wrote with Prince and Jesse Johnson, The Bell of St. Mark from Sheila E. And again, she's performing tonight. She's been here since Thursday playing at the Dakota. Looks like she's playing 2 sets tonight. So another one happening at 9 o'clock. Sheila E. and the E Train. Do not sleep on living legends, people. We've talked about that before. And we'll keep talking about it. This is the Jazz Impulse. We're getting ready for my special guest, Philip Harder. Talking about a living legend, he will be joining me in the next hour talking about a big event that's happening at the Walker Art Center Thursday. It's free, community first, people. He'll be projecting films and conducting. I don't know if he's conducting or composed, but there will be a live music orchestra to go along with the films that he's going to be telling us all about it here tonight on the Jazz Impulse. Always a joy to hang out with Philip. Had him here on the Jazz Impulse before, and I'm excited to have him in. And he's a big jazz guy. He brings some records with him, too. So we'll be talking about some of the performers that are performing at Sound of Silence and listening to some of Philip's very groovy jazz record collection in just a few moments on the Jazz Impulse. Music from the Riffin Trio. Again, they are performing Friday at the Turf Club, their EP release show. I believe we're going to have them in the studio on Monday night here on Minnesota Jazz Tracks on Jazz 88, but we're going to hear a tune from the new EP. This is called L.A. Rag, the Riffin Trio on Jazz 88.
Programming on Jazz 88 is supported by a generous donation from the estate of Jeffrey James Lowhouse. For information on how to make Jazz 88 part of your charitable giving, email the Development Department, development@jazz88.fm.
It's the Jazz 88 live music calendar for Saturday, 6 p.m. Mary Louise Knutson plays solo, Angelina's Kitchen, Woodbury. 7 p.m., the Ladies of Soul, Dakota, Minneapolis. 7:30, Abane Berhanu Group, Berlin, Minneapolis. And at 9:30, don't miss the legendary Jay Epstein on drums with Triage, Volstead's, Minneapolis. Find more on the live music calendar at jazz88.fm.
The Jazz Impulse takes you for a ride through your Saturday nights.
Okay, well, strap yourselves in, whether it's the car, the spaceship, or whatever, because we're about to take off on a commercial-free half hour of music.
Live on Jazz 88.
Jazz 88 and the prize fighters doing Oasis. I guess there was a dare. Liam Gallagher dared anybody to cover their songs, so the prize fighters took the dare. I thought it sounded pretty cool. Oasis ska style. I might even prefer it over Oasis. How about you, Phil?
Oh man, anything but Oasis.
Okay, no, you know what camp we're from.
It wore me out in the 90s.
Yeah. Did you ever work with Oasis?
No, they were touring with Corner Shop, or the other way around.
I think I saw that show, yeah.
Yeah, and Corner Shop was a band I was working with a lot at the time.
Yeah.
And we were living in England at the time, and you could not escape that Oasis music.
Over there, I'm sure, yeah. I bet you can't now these days as well, since they've kind of resurrected. This is the Jazz Impulse. That is Philip Harder. He's joining me for this hour. And a returned guest to the Jazz Impulse. We'll be talking about a big event that Phil's a part of Thursday at the Walker Arts Center. The Sounds for Silence event is a great summer tradition, and it's cool to have Phil kind of give us a little bit more of an explanation of what's going on Thursday and what to expect. I always have a great time at that, when especially you don't know what to expect. Speaking of not sure what to expect in terms of roads tonight, in Minneapolis, Riverside Avenue, the bridge over 94 is closed for maintenance. Also in Burnsville, the Cliff Road Bridge over 35W is closed for construction through October 30th. Any traffic concerns on the way over here, Philip?
Just trying to find parking, but I like this new studio.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of parking here tonight.
Yeah, and I didn't know. It looked like I was breaking into the school or something.
No.
And then the streets are all like, well, snow emergency only, and I didn't think it was a snow emergency.
Right. Tonight, patchy skies, partly cloudy, a low around 67 for the overnight tonight. Tomorrow, fog in the morning, a high of 83 for tomorrow. Should be a gorgeous Sunday fun day. And a low tomorrow of 61. And you, my friends, are listening to the Jazz Impulse.
Jazz 88 Roots begins Friday night at 7 with the blues. Then from 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. on Saturday, it's bluegrass, Celtic, variety, and a slice of Louisiana. Check out Roots Friday evening at 7 through Saturday on Jazz 88.
88.5 KBEM FM Minneapolis St. Paul and Jazz88.FM, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools.
I'm gonna be leaving. Yes, and I will be gone to stay. Oh, I don't know just where I'm gonna end up, but I know it'll feel like home on that day. One of these days we're gonna see some changes. No haze of fear, no fog of war. No, I can already imagine the sunshine and the peace I will feel forevermore. Yeah, one of these days. Yeah, one of these days. Our voices will blend and in harmony we'll sing. Yeah, one of these days we'll all stand together. Everyone will be free to live in peace one of these days. No ignorant hate, no me against you. Our song will rise up and the scream will ring true. Yes, the time is drawing near. A change will come soon. Yeah, one of these days. Yeah, one of these days.
It's Jazz 88, the Jazz Impulse, and that was Matt Arthur with Alan Sparhawk. He of Low fame. The song "One of These Days." Is that unreleased still, or is that coming out?
That is on the EP that came out.
Yeah,
about 6 months ago.
Okay, and you produced that record, or you were involved somehow?
Yeah, I went up to Duluth and worked with Alan Sparhawk. I sort of produce. Matt Arthur kind of laughs. He calls me the movie man, and he has me directing the record.
Ah, okay, directing the sounds. Well, I got to say, welcome, Philip Harder, to the Jazz Impulse again. It's great to have you back, and I was excited to see you were going to be involved in this big event happening Thursday at the Walker. Sound for Silence, 2025, film and music on the Walker Hillside. Philip's you've been a film and video director for some time. Tell folks, when did you start out?
Well, I started out with the punk bands in the mid-'80s, where I was involved with the music, traveling around. I was in a band called Breaking Circus. I met a lot of the bands back then because I got to tour, and some of my favorite bands like Steve Albini's Big Black, Naked Reagan, some of the local bands, Soul Asylum, Babes in Toyland. It was all happening. Yeah. And not only was I a musician in these bands, I also brought along a camera and shot some of it. And then
film camera?
Yeah, a Super 8 camera. And then I convinced a band or two, I think it was Twin Tone Records, Soul Asylum P9, to give me like $400.
Yeah.
And they were debating, should we get tires for the van or should we make this music video? And out of that, maybe I made $100 or something, but I was like, wow, this is great. I'd pay you to do this, and you're paying me. How's this possible? Until
they borrowed money from you to buy tires.
I guess they had a few flats after that. But
more recently, you've had some feature-length films, which I think was the reason we had you here last time. The Claw had gotten released universally. the Claw film.
Yeah, the Claw Baron von Raschke documentary. And before that, we did Tuscaloosa, a film about Alabama in 1972. They're
Loved
both
it.
on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like, out of all those music videos I did and then the commercials and all that stuff, it got back to what I had hoped to do when I started in this business, was make feature films.
Mm-hmm.
And we even have a film that we hope to put out this year about the band Low.
Mm-hmm.
It's their entire career. I worked with them before they had their first record up until Mimi passed away in 2022.
Mm-hmm. And as we mentioned, Matt Arthur performed with Alan Sparhawk from Low on that last tune. So you've had a relationship with Low forever. But this is something special. As I understand it, Matt Arthur will be performing on Thursday, or they're performing his music.
He's going to perform a couple songs.
Yeah.
Matt had a stroke, but he's doing really well.
Yeah.
And he's fighting back. He's a real trooper. Matt is a blind singer-songwriter who I've known for 30 years. And he just asked me to make this record with him, and we made a concept record. It's called The Outlaw's Last Ride.
Mm-hmm.
So when the Walker asked me to curate films, the Walker they're great. They just say, this is an open slate. You just use some of the films from our collection, the Ruben Benstein collection.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people have done it. It's an annual event. And I said, what about a blind singer-songwriter doing films for silent movies? They kind of scratched their head about that, but they thought that's actually a really cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
And since we have this record that is a whole concept, we decided let's just try to put the films to the whole story of the record.
Mm-hmm.
And since Matt won't be able to play all the songs, he's going to start the night singing a short song, and then he's going to introduce everybody. And then the Minneapolis music community came together to support Matt and spread the word.
Yeah, I love that. You mentioned people from the Jayhawks, Soul Asylum, Polisa, the Hang-Ups. Man, I love the Hang-Ups. And Lady Midnight all performing. It's almost like a rock orchestra of sorts.
Well, we started with a string quartet, and Matt's band.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've decided to turn some of the songs instrumental.
Yeah.
And some of them will be guest vocalists, like you mentioned.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very cool.
And they're all singing Matt's songs.
Yeah, I love it. This is such a great event every year. We were listening to some Martin Dosh earlier tonight on the show. I know that he's curated the music for the Sound to Silence series in the past, and it's cool that you're going to be part of it. This, I've seen you within your film collection. You're almost like a DJ with movies, kind of mixing live film projectors together, and we've kind of collaborated on that even in the past. Your connection with music and your love for film and creating, clearly that's been a constant throughout your life and career.
Yeah, when you say film too, we're talking 16 millimeter films.
Oh yeah.
With the projector, the reels, the whole deal.
There's no smartphones in this show.
And I've been collecting with my wife for a long time, Isabel. And we have a garage full of really crazy films. We've got a massive collection of Charles and Ray Eames films. We've got the Hubleys, they're parents of one of the people in Yola Tango.
Oh, yeah.
All these, Saul Bass, who did the credit sequences for Hitchcock.
Mm-hmm.
They all made crazy, beautiful short films.
Yeah.
As well as a lot of foreign films that we have. We're just big fans of the artists and the poets of cinema. And so this really felt good to go back to the silent era, dig out some of the most amazing films, and I've even edited pieces out of films.
Mm-hmm.
Because the silent era was really special. As it got more advanced in the late 20s, before the talkie came out, they were moving that camera. They were getting so creative.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't black and white. They tinted a lot of these, hand-tinted.
Mm-hmm.
They were never silent because they came with a music score.
Yeah.
If it's a small cinema, it'd be an organist or a piano player.
Mm.
If it's a big city, it might be an orchestra. So they were never intended to be silent.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people know that, but we need to remind them once in a while the beauty of the cinema of that era, and some of it's really radical. We got films from Man Ray, starring Kiki, a Dadaist named Hans Richter, an amazing silhouette animator, Lottie Reininger. These are like very experimental filmmakers, as well as some pretty popular stuff.
Yeah, you and I are kind of cut from the same sort of collector, ambitious collector, and ephemeral collage, whether it's sound or film, music. And I just love what you have in store here Thursday. Again, folks, it's happening at the Walker Arts Center Hillside, Thursday, 7 p.m. It's free, which is very cool as well. So how many film projectors will you have part of this thing?
Well, they're going to do these films digitally.
All right, good.
I know I boasted up the 16mm aspect of our lives.
No, yeah.
The Walker needs to do it digitally these days because they don't have the old 60mm projectors anymore.
We've come a long way since you...
I still have them, and I try to find different ones to replace my worn-out ones on eBay every once in a while.
Okay.
They're always limping along, those school projectors, but they do the trick.
We've come a long way since you used to ride around on your bike with your film projector on the back of your bike, showing movies in the alleys in Northeast Minneapolis.
Yeah, we did a found power kind of thing. We just plugged into any
fun.
Loading dock or project against any wall we could find.
Hey, well, let's keep the party rolling. We'll be talking to Philip some more about that event Thursday, but we really wanted to make sure everybody knew about it, and that's happening. As I've said before, community first, and the summer is all about these special events. So it's so cool to have you down here talking about it. I did want to play some Soul Asylum, your first music video, and this cost them $400, you said?
I think it was something like that. We did a lot of music videos before this, but this is the first time we had a music video on MTV, so I think it paid off for them.
And see, before we'd even met, I remember seeing this video. It's probably one of the first things I saw of Soul Asylum. So it's all coming together full circle here on the Jazz Impulse tonight. And we'll hear some more music from Matt Arthur, who's performing Thursday, along with Phillips Films. And much more. I brought a ton of movie soundtracks down here tonight. Great.
Yeah, and Dave Perner's going to sing a song. Dave met Matt, and he also saw him play at Dusty's. Mm-hmm. And Dave gave me hell one time because Matt was about to perform. He took a break, and someone knocked over the microphone at Dusty's, and I was trying to fix it for Matt.
Yeah.
And I was twisting it up and down and left and right. And Dave walks up and goes, "Don't you know how to set up a microphone?" And he set it up in about 2 seconds. And Matt kicked in, and Dave saw that show, and I think he really appreciated, how cinematic and gorgeous Matt's music is.
Absolutely. We'll hear some more of that. Here's Soul Asylum 19. What year was this record? The EP?
Let's say 87, maybe.
Yeah, 86. It's P9 on the Jazz Impulse here on Jazz 88.
hope you get this letter, honey. I'm letting you know Clyde and I will be riding into town on Friday night around sundown. I've been thinking about you, honey. Everything you said, how you hate my outlaw ways, and if I don't change soon, I'll be dead. My love is strong for you, honey. I just can't let you down. Now I've come to realize it's time to walk straight, settle down. For your love, honey, I'll forever lay my gun down. For your love, honey, I'll forever lay my gun down.
You are listening to the Jazz Impulse with Danny Sigelman on Jazz88.
Muitas vezes o coração não consegue compreender o que a mente não faz questão, nem tem forças pra obedecer. Quantos sonhos já destruí e deixei escapar das mãos. Se o futuro assim permitir, não pretendo viver em vão. Meu amor, não estamos sós, tem um mundo a esperar por nós. No infinito do céu azul, pode ter vida em Marte. Então vem cá, me dá sua língua. Então vem, eu quero abraçar você. Seu poder vem do sol, minha medida, meu bem. Vamos viver a vida. Então vem, senão eu vou perder quem sou. Vou querer me mudar para uma life on Mars. Muitas vezes o coração não consegue compreender o que a mente não faz questão, nem tem forças pra obedecer. Quantos sonhos já destruí e deixei escapar das mãos. Se o futuro assim permitir, não pretendo viver em vão. Meu amor, não estamos sós, tem um mundo a esperar por nós. O infinito do céu azul, pode ter vida em Marte. Então vem cá, me dá sua língua. Então vem, que eu quero abraçar você. Seu poder vem do sol, minha medida. Meu bem, vamos viver a vida. Então vem, senão eu vou perder quem sou. Vou querer me mudar para uma life on Mars.
Seu Jorge on Jazz 88, the Jazz Impulse, and the Life Aquatic soundtrack. 2005, the year of that record and that movie. That was. What do you think of Wes Anderson movies, there, Philip?
I think he's kind of fallen off his spark.
Yeah.
It's kind of like redundant at this point.
Okay.
It's kind of a gimmick.
Yeah.
But I was reminded how amazing modern cinema can be when I, not through a Wes Anderson film, that was 10 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
But this new film called Kill the Jockey I saw, and it reminded me a bit of the height of Wes Anderson's.
Who directed Kill the Jockey?
His name is Luis Ortega.
Okay.
Argentinian director. And it was so creative and so wild and out there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that's what cinema's all about. So I was really excited to see that at the Main.
Oh, cool. Movie recommendations and all tonight here on the Jazz Impulse. We heard Matt Arthur before that did The Letter, Lay Down My Gun. And we started off with Soul Asylum, P9. The first video directed by my guest, Philip Harder, here tonight. Filmmaker, video director, curator of the big event that's happening Thursday at the Walker Arts Center, Hillside, Sound for Silence 2025, featuring Matt Arthur and a ton of other performers. We mentioned Dave Perner from Soul Asylum is going to be singing some of Matt's songs, a song perhaps, and also the group Polisa. Channy from Polisa is kind of. So this is kind of echoing the thoughts, the emotions of Matt's songs amongst other performers from the Twin Cities Thursday night.
Yeah, I sent these performers Matt's LP, and I let them choose a song that they thought would fit their voice.
Yeah.
And it's complicated because Matt is such an Americana singer. He's from small town Ellendale in South Minnesota. He's as Americana as it gets, both in his music and his lifestyle. And when you take somebody like Channy translating his song, I haven't heard what she's going to do with it yet, but we're going to have a rehearsal on Tuesday and then again on Wednesday, and I can't wait to hear what she does with that.
That sounds very cool. And a lot of Polisa fans in town. I don't know that people would associate that music with more of an acoustic kind of thing. So that's very cool. I thought we'd play a little Polisa. They reimagined some of the composer Steve Reich's music for Pieces of Wood. Are you hip to that record, Philip?
You're going to teach me.
Okay. So we're going to play that. We are going to take a break and go to Phil Nussbaum's and Twin Cities Weekend in a moment. And we'll be back with some more music tonight on the Jazz Impulse with my guest, Philip Harder. We're getting very cinematic tonight. We will get back to some funky jams, maybe even some cinematic funky jams later on in the show. Right now, this is Polisa and Stargaze reimagining Steve Reich's Music for Pieces of Wood, Part 2. It's on Jazz 88.
Programming on Jazz 88 is supported by the Cedar Cultural Center in Minneapolis, presenting guitarist Mark Ribot, Map of a Blue City record release on Friday, September 5th at 8 p.m. On September 6th, the Cedar welcomes instrumentalists The Mesthetics and James Brandon Lewis with one show at 7 p.m. Tickets online at thecedar.org.
Singer Judy Vinar leads pianist Rick Carlson and bassist Gary Rayner in a wide-ranging concert next Thursday. It's time for Twin Cities Weekend. Judy Vinar is known for her vocal interpretations of styles as varied as 60s folk and jazz scatting. Judy performs in front of bassist Rick Carlson and bassist Gary Rayner Thursday, August 14th from 7 till 9 p.m. at the Hi-Hat in St. Paul. We start our presentation about the performance by playing something by Bobby McFerrin. Rick had said that this mind of multiple voice is one of Judy's interests, and that Judy can take after the McFerrin style of leadership. So Phil Nussbaum asked Rick about it.
The trees are shivering in a naked...
I mean that Bobby McFerrin runs a very loose ship. I don't know if anything at all is ever written out, even in live performances. And he's not up there with one or two people. He's up there with 7 or 8 different singers. And it's maybe the epitome of how jazz works, in that McFerrin will start a groove and establish a key and a tempo and a feel, and when he's happy with it, he'll look at one other person to counter what he's doing, or lay something on top of it, or support him, or invent a background riff. They have that much freedom. And as successive singers are added to the mix, each has to find a place for himself that works with everything that's going on. It's a high wire act with 8 or 10 people.
If you're a member of it, I would think there is a good deal of fear, but then a good deal of excitement.
Oh, I think the adrenaline alone would wipe you out after a while, after you're done. Judy is utterly fearless musically. There is nothing about which she is not curious. There is nothing she won't attempt if she likes the feel of it. There is nothing she doesn't want to explore. She is one of the 2 or 3 most creative humans I've ever encountered.
Well, Judy does really complex, multiple voice music and all kinds of solo singing. Rick, you and Judy wrote Emmett Remus, but what is that?
It's Summertime backwards. Judy wanted to write a tune called Summertime, and I felt compelled to point out that it had been done. So we fell back on an old Duke Ellington trick. If he couldn't immediately think of an appropriate name, and he was great at naming stuff, he would pick something familiar and name it backwards. So she came in with the melody, and I came in with the changes, the chord structure underneath. And each of us played to our strengths. She is a strong melodic writer. I'm not as strong in melody as I am in the underpinning chords. She works very hard, and it shows in the results, at being a good lyricist. She has studied it and taken people apart and studied them for years. And this is what we came up with.
Take off your sweaters and your heavy shoes. Outside it's blooming again, the snow's gone, it won't be long before it's summertime. Well, I don't know if I could take another heavy snow, but now I'm letting it go, my heart's like hold tight. Tonight it feels like summertime. Rub down all the decks, boys, we wanna catch some rays. All I can say is heck, boys, the season's turning and I'm right for burning everywhere. You hear a poet singing, love is in the air. So quit your bumming, honey, it's summertime. a hot town in the city, and it'd be a pity if you didn't spot that it's too darn hot. So no other wolf on would something. So just quit your romping and let's go for a ride, 'cause baby, it's hot outside.
Rick, you wrote Emmett Remus with Judy Venar a little while ago. Listening back, how do you like it today?
I like it now. I think we done good. When you write a tune that fast and that casually, the odds are not good that it's going to stand up after a couple of years and you hear it again. This one I like. I took a couple of pages out of Ellington's book, harmonically, and it's the right tempo, and it swings, and that's all I need.
We're speaking with Rick Carlson, and he has many musical roles, and one is playing the piano for singer Judy Venar. A song like Don't Let Me Be Lonely. It's originally from James Taylor, but as a piano player, you're listening to the song and creating a piano part that it was originally on the guitar makes no difference. But sometimes the lyrics affect what you put down on the piano.
For me, the lyrics come closer to dictating what I put down on the piano. I think that music should evoke an emotional response. And it's really hard for a tune alone to do that. It takes a lyric for people to latch onto and feel a certain way. And if the music accompanying this is ignorant or blind or doesn't care, you've missed an opportunity to move people. That's my mission, is to make them move, is to move them emotionally. I know that I've won if I catch somebody crying.
Thanks, Rick, for that musical accompaniment philosophy. I'm looking forward to taking in your embellishment to the way Judy gets the meaning out of Don't Let Me Be Lonesome Tonight.
Say goodbye and say hello. Oh, it's good to see you, but it's time to go. Well, don't say yes, but please don't say no. I don't want to be lonely tonight.
Vocalist Judy Venar appears with pianist Rick Carlson and bassist Gary Rayner, 7 to 9 p.m. Thursday, August 14th at the Hi-Hat in St. Paul. The Hi-Hat web address is thehihatmn.com. Judy's is judyvenar.com, and that's Judy with an I and Venar, V-I-N-A-R. Rick Carlson's address is rickcarlson.net. This program is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Phil Nussbaum speaking.
I'd had it for just under 2 years, but it was quickly becoming more expensive to maintain, so I thought instead of go through the hassle of trying to find someone to buy it, I would just donate it to Jazz88. I've always thought that cruising around the Twin Cities is not quite the same without Jazz88 in the background. My name's Andrew, I live in St. Paul, and I donated my 2004 Toyota Prius. I love Jazz88 and I want to see it continue to grow and flourish.
Turn your car into radio programming you love. Get started at jazz88.fm/support.
Businesses and organizations join together to support our mission of jazz and education in the Jazz 88 Business Circle. Our members include the Art Shop at Midtown Global Market, MSP Film Society, our Mark Fry Law Firm, Minnehaha Falls Landscaping, Walker West Music Academy, and the American Swedish Institute. Learn how you can join the circle and reach our discerning audience at jazz88.fm.
It's the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88.
It's Jazz. The Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88. Getting very ambient tonight with Neil Young, the Dead Man soundtrack, 1996. Philip, do you remember that movie?
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp, black and white, going into the Wild West.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a gorgeous film, shot by Robbie Mueller, the great cinematographer from the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember enjoying that movie. I've always really liked the soundtrack, and the story is, I believe, that Neil Young kind of improvised recording the solo guitar with a lot of like effects, ambient sounds for the soundtrack. He did it kind of live in one take.
Yeah, that's his style, isn't it? Just to get the first take and get the vibe over the perfection.
Before that, we heard a totally different vibe from Low, and that was from the Songs for a Dead Pilot record. Wheel the Night, the name of that one, as requested by my guest, Philip Harder, tonight. You directed a video for that song.
Well, we did a live version of it, which I'm very used to. It's in the movie about Low. And I chose this out of the collection, but I didn't realize this was Low doing extremely minimal experimentation. Putting such a gorgeous song deep in the depths of reverb. They like to really get you thinking, I think.
Yeah. Well, that whole record is very dark, the Songs for a Dead Pilot. It was an EP, and a lot of the songs are very lengthy on that record, going back a ways in Low's career. Philip Harder, my guest tonight, is part of the Sound for Silence event 2025 happening on the Walker Hillside. Speaking of matching kind of music to film, that is certainly what's going to be happening out there. Outdoors, I believe the weather's looking good for Thursday, hopefully.
So far, it looks really good.
Is it going to be a hot one?
Well, it's always hot this time of year, but we can handle it.
Yeah, we can manage.
And if it is raining, they're going to do it inside. So it's going to happen regardless.
Yeah, I think that's happened in the past. But very cool. Thanks so much for coming down, Philip. You're welcome to hang out. I mean, we got the jazz records here.
Yeah, we do.
Turn it into our own little lounge. It is always super fun to have you and to see everything that's going on musically or film-wise in your oeuvre.
Yeah, and do you mind if I give out
give some shout-outs, man? Yeah,
to the
you're quiet
musicians
tonight.
that are going to be performing on Thursday. Channy from Polisa, we played a very strange song from that, but she's going to do one of Matt Arthur's original songs. They're all doing Matt Arthur's songs. Lady Midnight's going to sing a song.
Oh, yeah. You told me that. That's very cool.
Faith Escala is going to be playing violin. She's from Whispered the Rabbit. Jacqueline Ulton is on cello. She's in the Star Folk and always in orchestra and strings around town. Alison Laban from the Star Folk and the Owls. She's going to be singing a duet with her husband, Brian Ty, who is also in the Owls and the Hang-Ups.
Yes.
Dave Perner is singing a song. Tim O'Regan from the Jayhawks, he's drumming, and he's got a beautiful voice. I did a video for the Jayhawks in 2020. He was the singer of that song called Dogtown Days. Bill Patton, he's going to be playing Matt's guitar parts, and he's from the Bill Patton Trio. And a young wizard of a musician who was in Matt's band and performed a lot of the songs that were recorded, Jake Johnson. He is just a fantastic musician who can play any instrument.
Nice.
I can't believe how talented that young person is, and he's such a great guy too. So he wrote the charts for all the strings. Oh yes, and Fela Taylor is going to be on the beautiful harp.
And is this is all music that you helped Matt Arthur record as well? So
yeah, there's some of it is really quiet duets, and then we get really rocking. Matt's kind of an old punk rocker too, and he looks up to the same kind of musicians I look up to. We always would listen to Nick Cave before we were recording, and so at times the music really explodes. So it's not just quiet duets. It's going to have a huge range of dynamics that fit these insane films that I've curated. Oh, and Exene Cervenka from X, she gave us permission to use one of their videos who I always loved.
That you directed?
No, it's just one that's from the 80s that was like an ode to the silent film. And from the song Black and White Ghost. And it's a radical night all around.
Very cool. Well, thanks for coming by, Philip, and telling us all about it. We're looking forward to that. Thursday night, it's free. The Walker Hillside Sound for Silence starts at, well, show up around 7, but does it start as it gets darker?
Yeah, there's going to be a DJ.
Okay.
Bill DeVille's going to be DJing.
Yeah.
And then he leads us into dusk when it's dark enough to project.
Oh, there you go.
And then we get going. And the band is on stage, and the screen is right over their heads. So you can either watch the band, or you can watch the movies, or watch them both.
Well, let's take another listen to the record you helped Matt with. This tune is called Dreamland.
Yes, and Cyrus Sparhawk, Alan and Mimi's son, plays bass on this.
Okay.
And you'll hear Alan singing harmony with Matt. This is a song that Matt always closes his shows with.
Yeah.
And he's going to close the night with this gorgeous lullaby.
For a grand finale at the big event Thursday night. All right. Thank you, Philip. Thanks for hanging out. You're welcome to hang out and help me pick some jazz records. We'll get a little dance party going for the third hour of the Jazz Impulse. We're going to hear Dreamland. It's Matt Arthur once again performing as part of Sound for Silence Thursday night at the Walker Arts Center. It's here on the Jazz Impulse.
Go to sleep, oh my sweet one. May you feel better when the morning comes, and I'll be here to stand beside you in the bright early morning sun. May your mind rest ever easy. Let a song fill your every dream. Travel this road of dreamland. Maybe you will even dream of me.
If your organization is doing good in our community, Jazz88 wants to help get the word out. We can promote any event, volunteering opportunity, or fundraiser that provides service to the youth, seniors, or the art. We'll make sure your organization is able to reach the people you need. Just send an email and tell us about your cause at info@jazz88.fm. That is info@jazz88.fm.
Manny Hill here, reminding you to check out the programming we have from the students and staff of Minneapolis Public Schools, available on demand at mpsvoices.com. It's all under the programs and sports drop-down menus on the site. Find it all at mpsvoices.com.
88.5 KBEM FM Minneapolis St. Paul and Jazz88.fm, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools.
Jazz 88, this is the Jazz Impulse and Talking Heads. Man, somebody was asking me if I'm going to go see David Byrne. He's coming to town November 3rd at 3rd and 4th, 2 nights with the at the Orpheum Theater. And we went back to Talking Heads' 1979 record, Fear of Music. E Zimbra, the name of that one. Did you ever work with David Byrne?
I was hanging out with the Talking Heads in New York back in the day.
Yeah.
I was working with them because Tina Weymouth, she was just guiding me through music. She was just a wonderful person, and I was able to meet her. And she was able to just, show us the ropes in New York and take us around and stuff.
Yeah.
And she was just a wonderful person.
Yeah.
I was so glad
That's
that,
pretty cool.
And when I was at their office, the management company, at the end of the day, she had talked to me all day. I was very young. She gave me her best. She goes, "You're going to do great." And then she split. And the rest of the crew said, "Oh, thanks so much for talking to her all day." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" "She comes in here every day. She bothers us every day, all day, and we can't get any work done."
Yeah.
So we're so glad that you were here.
You were the buffer. Yeah, that's cool. I'm sure Tina Weymouth was very expressive and creative.
Well, she just gave me a lot of good wishes and good luck.
Yeah. Did you see the Talking Heads ever?
Yeah.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
Here, or was that in Wisconsin, in New York?
New York. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. This is the Jazz Impulse. I am your host, Danny Sigelman. My special guest, Philip Harder, here is hanging out. We heard some Matt Arthur before the break there. Matt is part of the big Sound of Silent events Thursday at the Walker Arts Center. We're going to get back into some music. I wanted to play this Raincoats record. I've been unpacking my record collection and realizing I got some cool stuff I haven't listened to in a while. And I thought the Raincoats would fit in pretty well tonight. But first, I wanted to play some new stuff from Dylan Hicks and the Small Screens. They are out of the Twin Cities. Man, Dylan is it's almost like a record every 4 months with this guy. The new record is called Avian Field Recordings. And this is, I'd say Dylan's very much a cinematic kind of songwriter as well, actually, and a known author. Every song is kind of its own film, perhaps. This is called Sidetrack. Dylan Hicks and Small Screens on the Jazz Impulse.
Like a Siamese cat's paw, drifted back to Kansas, working both sides of the law. Out here at the rail yard, bargaining for scraps. I'll be resting on a flatbed over on this here side track. Most days the clouds get by like daytime mice when you took down the street. I could be your sidetrack man. 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 The room fell silent. My decrees were absolute. Sideburns angled with my collar of my blue brocade jumpsuit. When I find myself decoupled, she won't likely take me back. But it needn't be so lonesome over on this here side track. like daytime nights when you're too tired to shriek. I could be your sidetrack man. 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 I could be your sidetrack man.
Impulse takes you for a ride through your Saturday nights.
Okay, well, strap yourselves in, whether it's the car, the spaceship, or whatever, because we're about to take off on a commercial-free half hour of music.
Live on Jazz 88.
Jazz88, the Jazz Impulse, with a very cold ending there from the group Goblin, the film soundtrack house band of sorts for the film director Dario Argento. The movie Profondo Rosso, Deep Red. Man, what year was this? We're talking probably late 60s stuff. And the piece called Death Dies from Goblin. Here on Jazz 88 tonight, going into the film soundtrack category much of throughout the evening here tonight, having a great time and playing some cinematic sounds as inspired by our guest tonight, Philip Harder, the film and video director. Big event happening Thursday at the Walkers. Thanks to Philip for coming by the Jazz Impulse tonight. Plenty of music to get to before the end of the hour here. I got some Rhythm Heritage coming up right after this.
You want to feel important? You want to be part of something bigger, something that matters, and that you can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We felt that way too. I'm Sergeant First Class Daphne Pierre from Robbinsdale, Minnesota, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Minnesota Army National Guard soldiers. We are people just like you, and together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit nationalguard.com/MN to find out more. Sponsored by the Minnesota Army National Guard, aired by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
The car served me through college, grad school. It moved me from Minneapolis to Portland, Oregon, and then Portland, Oregon to Augusta, Georgia. And the Lumina is still giving by putting my favorite programs on the air. It feels awesome. My name is Bethany, and I donated my car to public radio.
Your unused vehicle can power programming on Jazz 88, and you receive the full value of your vehicle as a tax deduction. Learn more. Visit jazz88.fm/support.
You are listening to the Jazz Impulse with Danny Sigelman on Jazz 88.
You're listening to Jazz 88, the Jazz Impulse, music out of Cincinnati, Ohio. TC Connection. The tune Queen City here on Jazz 88. Thought we'd throw in a nice slow groove after hearing Haze. Sounded like they were playing on 78 RPM there. The higher groove from their 1974 record, Twin Cities, Minneapolis sound. Haze on Jazz 88. Before that, nice long set there. Thought I'd bring the dance party at last here tonight in the third hour of the Jazz Impulse. We heard Azimuth do Marcana from the Otubro record, 1980 record. From them, of course, we got a really great performance from Azimuth this summer. A highlight of my summer so far. They are still at it, 50 years making music. Their discography is a marathon. Otubro, one of the trademark, the signature record from Azimuth. If you're thinking of digging into some Brazilian jazz funk. Rhythm Heritage started off the set. The Disco-fied record brought Caravan, Duke Ellington song done disco jazz style here on the Jazz Impulse. I am your host, Danny Sigelman. Getting ready to wrap up the show here tonight, turning things over at 10 o'clock to Christian McBride and Jazz Night in America. Big ups to Philip Harder. Phil Harder, my guest tonight. So fun to hang out with him and listen to music and kind of dig into some soundtrack music like we did tonight. Kind of an interesting edition of the Jazz Impulse. It's a big tent here. Okay. Back into some music before we turn things over to Jazz Night in America. The latest record from the New Orleans group Galactic is a collaboration with the queen of New Orleans soul, Irma Thomas. It's called Be Your Lady. It's on Jazz 88.
I could be a calm day, and I could be a hurricane, mean as a rattlesnake, sweeter than sugar cane. I could be a soldier, I could be an olive branch. I could take love away, or give you just another chance. I could be a lot of things, baby, but I just wanna be your lady. I'll do anything, be your baby. I don't have you, I'll go crazy. I can't see my life without you. Let me be your lady. You could be lonely, or you could spend time with me. You could be my only, or you could run wild and free. You can see the love I have, or just be blind to it. You can give your love to me, or be too afraid to do it. You could do a lot of things, baby, but I just wanna be your lady. I'll do anything, be your baby. I don't have you, I'll go crazy. I can't see my life without you. Let me be your lady. We could be Bonnie and Clyde. We could hit the town all night, or we could just stay inside. We can fuss all day long, or we could be good together. We could live in misery, or live in a world of pleasure. We could be a lot of things, baby, but I just wanna be your lady. I'll do anything, be your baby. If I don't have you, I'll go crazy. I can't see my life without you. Let me be your lady. I'll do anything, be your baby. If I don't have you, I'll go crazy. I can't see my life without you. Let me be your lady.
Feeling the pulse of the Twin Cities, the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88.
The Tokyo Tower. No place like it. Tokyo in the spring.
Jazz 88, the Jazz Impulse. You know, I promised an Ozzy Osbourne tribute last week. Had this really cool, like, Indian psychedelic version of Supernaut, but I couldn't find it. So there you go. This is the Jazz Impulse on Jazz 88. Danny Sigelman, your host, every Saturday here, 7 to 10 on Jazz 88. We have a great time every Saturday night. I'm bringing it all to you live here at... And what else? Well, we did some Dorothy Ashby. Went back to her 1968 record, Afro Harping. Stellar stuff. Some Kitty Craft in there. Did Tokyo at Midnight. Started off with Irma Thomas and Galactic. Be Your Lady on Jazz 88. This is the Jazz Impulse. We're wrapping the show up for tonight, and we'll be turning things over in just a few minutes to Jazz Night in America with Christian McBride. Have a great Saturday night. Do be safe. We'll see you next week.
I look in the mirror, and who do I see? I look in the mirror, and I don't see me. No, I see a monster. I see a monster who broke your heart. You should let me go, but darling, please don't. I look through old pictures, and what do I see? I see the ghost of love that was smiling at me. 'Cause I was a monster, who broke your heart. You should let me go, but darling, please don't. Said I was a
The Jazz 88 Business Circle is a community of businesses and organizations who've come together to support our mission of jazz and education while expanding their reach with our devoted listeners. Members include the Capri Theater, RLC Jazz, Theater in the Round, Sinard Marketing on behalf of Zeitgeist New Music, and the Walker Art Center. Find more information on our Business Circle members and how to join at jazz88.fm.
Hey, good evening. Thanks for tuning in and spending part of your Saturday night with us here at Jazz 88. Time for a Jazz 88 roads and weather update. In Roseville and Blaine, 35W is reduced to one lane in both directions between County Road C and Lake Drive. In Bloomington, the ramp from Normandale Boulevard to eastbound 494 is closed. And in Coon Rapids, westbound 10 is reduced to one lane between Round Lake Boulevard and Hanson Boulevard. This project will go on through tomorrow evening and wrap about 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Speaking of tomorrow, sunny skies for Sunday, a high near 84 for your Sunday fun day. Patchy fog tonight until 5 a.m., a low around 68 for the rest of your Saturday night. Your host, Danny Sigelman, reminding you to become a contributing listener to Jazz 88. You can do so by going to our website, jazz88.fm, and click on Donate.
This is 88.5 KBEM FM, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Jazz88.fm on the web, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools.